So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. At what age did you discover that some of us, some of you and I watching me, dated, proposed, wore wedding dress and suits, wedded, had 4 children and lived together for 15 years under the impression that you're husband and wife, but you are not married? It shock you. If you didn't hear me right the first time, let me give you 5 minutes to get some cotton board, clean your left ear, clean your right ear. Sit down. Let me say it again. Do you know that some of us are under the impression that we are happily married, but we are not even married at all? Cha-cha. In the eyes of the law, we are at the best cohabiting tenants, or should I say as good as 2 men working in a factory together. And then when something happens, you will then know the true state, the true position of things. Today's video will be fire. I hope you're subscribed. If you're new here, you're seeing this pretty face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, do hit the subscribe button now. Give this video a big thumbs up because you can trust that it will be value added. Drop all your comments down in the comment section and stay glued because there is so much more coming your way. So yes, today's video will be highly educative, impacting and enlightening. So grab your chair, grab your bench, grab your stool. If you like to sit down for ground, sit down for ground. And do not miss a single word from this video. Let us begin. In today's video, we will be discussing void marriages. A void marriage is a marriage that the law deems never existed at all. Even if the parties to the marriage think that they are married, have done everything that a supposedly married person is supposed to do to solidify the union and have it recognized by law, but in the eyes of the law, it is void. It never happened. It never existed. So inexistent that you do not even need a divorce to dissolve it. Because for a divorce means dissolving an existing marriage. But a void marriage, you do not need a divorce because it does not exist. In the case of a void marriage, just see yourself as 2 clowns. 2 big clowns playing lead role in a circus game. Your marriage will be deemed to be void and inexistent under these circumstances. 1. Prohibited degrees of consanguinity and affinity. Hey, Oyibo, super. But trust me, you know that I will break it down for you molecule by molecule. Consanguinity is a relationship by blood, while affinity is a relationship by marriage. When you get married to somebody with close and unaccepted levels of consanguinity or affinity, meaning you guys are too related to be in a marriage. Even if you wore the best wedding gown and went to the best registrar's office and did the best court wedding and then went to church and did the best church wedding, held a big reception and had 6 children together, in the eyes of the law, both of you are jokers in a circus. That marriage does not exist. It lacks legitimacy. In many Western countries, I do not know about other African countries. If you're from other African countries, do let us know in the comment section. But in many Western countries, the prohibited degrees are usually broad. I even hear that in some countries, cousins can marry cousins. Distant cousins can marry distant cousins. But in Nigeria, under our law, we have a very wide range of prohibited degrees of consanguinity and affinity. Let me read some to you. I'll read from my laptop down below, so pardon my eyes being lowered. Prohibited degrees of consanguinity and affinity for a man includes men, open your ears. This is for you. It includes his ancestress, descendant, sister, maternal and paternal auntie, niece, mother-in-law. I hear that some men, their eyes, they choke for where their mother-in-law they. Your wife's daughter. Hello, molesters, perverts that would marry a woman and still have eyes for her own daughter, prohibited. Your wife's daughter, your wife's son's daughter, grandfather's wife, your son's wife, sugar daddies. You have a son, your eyes is still looking at his wife. Prohibited degrees. You cannot marry such a person. There are a number of others, but let me skip to the woman. For a woman, it includes your own prohibited degrees, your ancestor and your descendants, your brother. I have read stories of where a lady falls in love with her brother. Maybe the man played a away match and has a son or a child outside, and you meet this person, you begin a sexual relationship with the person without even knowing that that person is your brother, until you start talking about marriage and you bring the person to your parents. Some people still stubbornly go ahead and say love is all that matters. Love is not all that matters when it comes to marriage. You are wasting your time. That marriage cannot exist. Your maternal and paternal uncle, your nephew, your father-in-law runs girls, hook up babes that date father and son. Please, you can't marry your father-in-law. Your grandfather, your husband's son. Maybe you marry a divorcee. He has a young son. Abobi, your own husband, has big tummy and big breast. Your eye is on the son. Prohibited. So in other words, if you're related to somebody by blood or by marriage, any marriage to that person will be deemed not to have happened at all. Also note that there is an exception. If you want to proceed with a marriage with somebody that you have these prohibited degrees of relationship with, you can apply to a court and seek the judge's leave, seek the court's consent to endorse that marriage. And the judge has to be satisfied that certain exceptional circumstances exist to warrant the grant of that permission. Although in reality, I doubt that any judge will grant such permission, but this is what the law says. Also note that the marriage we're talking about pertains to statutory marriages, not traditional marriages. I'm sure that for traditional marriages, the situations might differ from place to place. So you can let us know in the comment section whether there are any prohibitions as to relationships in your place. Can a father marry his son's wife? Is it as strict and stringent as the statutes? Or what is it like in your place? Let us know down in the comment section. 2. A marriage will be deemed to be void and never have happened in the first place due to invalidity of Lex Loci celebration. Oh yeah. Loki and Thor. Beke. But I'll explain. Bear in mind that a lot of legal terminologies stem from the Latin language. So you would find so many legal terminologies and maxims in Latin. But let me explain simply put. Lex Loci means the law of the place of celebration, the place where that marriage celebration held or took place. For a marriage to be valid, it must have taken place at the office of a registrar or at a licensed place of worship. So please, Pastor Nsikan Ndifreke of the Fire Mission House of the Most High Assembly Ministries, located under Ojuelegba Bridge, before you wear your wedding gown and go to any person that calls himself a pastor to bless your wedding, ask yourself if that place where you are holding that wedding is a licensed place of worship. It's not any man that is hungry that go and borrow coats and open bacha and call it church that you stroll in there and go and consummate a marriage. If you know that that place is not a licensed place of worship and you go ahead to consummate your marriage there, that marriage is null and void. And in the eyes of the law, you are still boyfriend and girlfriend. The laws on Lex Loci is very, very serious. 3. An existing lawful marriage. Where are my wandering penises? Oh my God. Where are you? I see you. The Edochie's mentees, Judy Austin's clan, where are you? Step forward. This point is for you. Step to the front. My wandering penises. Where are you?
Wonder, 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 till you turn to wonder. Wonder, 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 to wonder. Yeah.
My wandering penises, where are you? Step forward, I have a word for you. This point is for you. You know the truth is bitter. The truth is as bitter as God. But you see me? I will keep telling you the truth. If you don't like it, worry shigi, pia na wall. Because I will let you know the facts. And sometimes when you speak the facts, it offends a convenient, acceptable, easier and irresponsible way of life. When you speak the facts that seem against the norm, against normalcy, people may think that you are overreaching. Some will put a tag on you. Some will say that you are being biased. No be me talk am, na the law talk. So as I said, An existing statutory marriage invalidates and renders void any other marriage that comes after it, as long as that first statutory marriage is still subsisting at the time when the second one was consummated. This point is so serious that it is the only ground that comes with a punishment. It is the only ground that the law criminalizes. So not only is that second marriage void, a person who goes ahead to wed another person during the subsistence of an existing statutory marriage commits a criminal offense and is liable to up to 5 years imprisonment. A few days ago, I asked in my community post, I said, if you were to choose one, which marriage would you choose to have? Is it a court wedding? Is it a traditional wedding? Or is it a church wedding? These 3 kinds of marriages are legal and accepted in Nigeria, but 3 of them have their different consequences and weights. If you have a first traditional marriage, you can proceed to have another and another and another after that order. You can choose to have 10 after that first traditional marriage. It is acceptable by law. If you have a statutory marriage first, a court wedding, you can neither have another court wedding or a traditional wedding or any kind of wedding or marriage at all during the subsistence of that statutory marriage. That statutory marriage invalidates any other show of circus that you call a marriage after that first one. And you are also liable for punishment for even attempting to do that. And if you have a traditional wedding first, you cannot have a statutory marriage after. To say, okay, I had a traditional marriage, we didn't wed in the courts. That first wedding was traditional wedding. This time, I'm going to do court wedding. No. That traditional wedding is recognized as marriage. And if you must tow that part, the only marriage that can be open to you after a traditional wedding is another traditional marriage. I hope you understand. My men, I love you guys so much. I love you, my men, so much. I want to give you all the expo. So if you know that your problem, your headache in this 2024 is marrying multiple women and having a family established in every continent of the world. You have one in Africa, you keep one in Europe, you establish another one in Asia. If that is your life goal, this is the format. So do it the right way. Nobody is saying that you cannot do what you want to do. The question is, are you doing it the right way? And that is why we've been having all these conversations surrounding you, Edochie. But some people are so obstinate that they have blocked their heads to understand the points. Look at Ned Nwoko, the Senator Ned Nwoko. He's a major mentor for the polygamists. They always brag about him. Oh, look at Ned. Ned has many wives. Nobody is attacking him. Why is Joel? Look at Ned Nwoko. Have you ever seen Ned Nwoko with a woman in a white wedding dress? Have you seen Lila with a white wedding dress in church or in court? Have you seen Regina? Despite how social media savvy and young, of course she would have wanted that beautiful wedding and all of that. Have you seen Regina in a white dress going to court or going to church? Do you think he's stupid? He is rich, he is powerful, he is influential. He might as well break the law and nobody would arrest him. But he has sense. And he knows what is right and wrong, and he knows what is illegal and what is legal. And since he has chosen the path of polygamy, he wants to have 10 wives. He is getting married to each and every one of them only traditionally. If he goes into a court to get married, nobody would fight him. Nobody would sue him in this Nigeria that we are. But he has sense. But Suleiman Badamosi in Benue State, with 0% knowledge of the law and 0% zeal to even know it, will be in the comment section from blog to blog, fighting everybody that men are polygamous in nature. You did not do anything wrong. Men are polygamous in nature. And if you try to advise him to do the right thing, they might call you a prostitute or a feminist. One of those 2 names. If you are very opinionated, you should be ready to have one of those names, because that is the only weapon that might be fashioned against you. Suleiman Badamosi will not want to hear. So my darling loving odogus with the wandering PPs, I am giving you all the expo now. I'm giving you all the tips. If you know that your Holocaust is out of control, plan yourself well and do it the right way. Also note the option of a divorce. If you feel like the first woman you got married to is a bad wife, of course, everybody doesn't get it right the first time. If you feel that she's not good for you, she's bad for you, there is an option of a divorce. Few days ago, Mercy Johnson Okoje was in the news, and before we knew it, a lot of people started coming up with her past stories. Oh, she married someone's husband, and the discussion came up again, whether or not she was wrong to have married somebody's husband. Now, if that somebody's husband has already divorced his wife, for all intents and purposes, that first marriage that has been dissolved does not exist again. He can go ahead to marry Mercy, and you cannot accuse her of marrying somebody's husband because a divorce has happened. So that is another exit route, my dear Odogus with the wandering PPs. So you have the option of divorcing the first woman and marrying the one you love, or making it clear to these women that you are open for multiple families by insisting on only a traditional marriage. Thank me later. Let's go to our next point. 4. Lack of consent. When a marriage takes place and consent was lacking in either party, either the man or the woman, such marriage will be deemed by law not to have existed in the first place. It can be if that consent was obtained, but obtained under duress or fear or force, or maybe obtained under fraud. The law will deem that consent not to have been obtained at all, and that marriage to be void entirely. So yes, we have seen cases of duress. I saw you through school. You must marry me. If you don't marry me, I will deal with you. I will pour acid on you. I will use the police to arrest you. That is duress. Or, you must marry me. I have dated you for 10 years. I sacrificed my youth for you. I did 10 abortions for you. I gave you money to start your business. If you don't marry me, I will get people that will kill you. I will use touts to put you down and to finish you. That is duress, if it can be proven. And any such union arising from those circumstances didn't happen. Fraud also is a very big issue, where some very important facts were misrepresented. Example, identity. Edumale, Obaino Japan. Mi Sauti, that your father is a king in your village. But shishi, you know get, you're an illegal immigrant, pretending to be who you're not. That is fraud. And such marriages do not exist. Even celebrating a marriage under false names. Some people, it was during this BVN issue when I was working at the bank that I knew that some people have more than 5 different identities. On voter's card is another name, driver's license another name, BVN another name. And the bank takes issues of name change very seriously. You cannot just come to the bank and say, I want to change my name. Why do you want to change your name? Don't you know that you can just pick a check on the floor and walk into the bank if it's that easy? And if the bank makes it that easy, you pick a check on the floor with someone's name and come to the bank and change your name to that check of 2 million and cash the check. But during my experience, I saw so many people with different names. If you contract a marriage under that name that is not your legal name in your birth certificate, uncle, auntie, you just wasted your time. That is not a marriage. In the eyes of the law, it did not happen. So please come out clean. Whoever loves you, whoever wants you, whoever wants to marry you, will still marry you. There is no need for lies, deceit, and fraud. And the last, but certainly not the least, marriageable age. A marriage is void when either party to the marriage has not attained the age of consent. The Matrimonial Causes Act didn't prescribe the age of consent, but the Child Rights Act prescribed the age of 18 as adulthood, as the age of consent. So my dear people, comot eye where pikin dey. Some people would useless their life and roam around. At the end of the day, they are looking for V-boots. Their eyes are on children. You want to eat your cake and have it. I am telling you now, under the law, any marriage you have with a child that is below 18 is at best a circus, because it never happened. But please note once again, if you didn't get me the first time, these exceptions, what we're discussing, pertains to the Matrimonial Causes Act, the law that governs the southern region of Nigeria. You know, Nigeria legal system is very, I can call it chaotic. the marriage between the North and the South brought some people might call it confusion, because the North practice a different system, the Sharia system, where people younger than 18 can be married to. But in the South, it is not acceptable. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's very entertaining and enlightening video. Do share your thoughts down in the comment section. Which of these points do you not agree with? Do you think the law should amend? And which of them do you think should be added to it? In our next video, we will discuss another interesting aspect of getting married. And I believe that by these videos, we all are getting more enlightened as to what the law is and how it works. So thank you so much guys again for watching. If you're new here, you're seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your comments down in the comment section, and stay glued because we have so much more coming your way. Don't forget to follow me also on Instagram to get bits and snippets of these nuggets. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now,